lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan. We're in 2024 and already kicking it off with some really dope comics. There's a couple that came out this week that I wanted to spotlight. First one I want to spotlight is Vengeance of the Moon Knight #1. Before I get into it, I just want to remind everybody, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and check out some of the dope content we have on the channel. We've got interviews, we got indie creator spotlights, we go through books from Marvel, DC, Image, IDW, Dark Horse, all the way down to self-publishing. So a bunch of dope content on the channel. And yes, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon also so you can be notified every time we drop new vids. Now let's get into this awesome book, Vengeance of the Moon Knight. Jed MacKay Alessandro Cappuccio, Rochelle Rosenberg returning. This is taking place right after last month's issue, I believe, is when issue 30 came out, which ended just the regular, Moon Knight book. He has sacrificed himself to save all of Manhattan from the supervillain Marc Spector, and now Moon Knight's friends have pledged to carry on in his absence and run the Midnight Mission themselves. So the Midnight Mission is something that Jed MacKay introduced in the beginning of this run. If you're not caught up with that, I don't necessarily think I recommend picking up some of the rest of his run, all collected in trades almost, I think, except with the last arc is the only one that maybe is obviously not collected yet. But really great run. I love the supporting cast he's had in here. I mean, you can see Tigra. We got Reese, who's a vampire who works for him at the Midnight Mission. And we also have another character, Hunter's Moon. I don't know if he was introduced in this run. I mean, I didn't know him before, but so they're dealing with the aftermaths of Mark's death. After the Black Spectre, after Mark died, they all died. All the personalities that Marc Spector Moon Knight has, Jake Lockley, Stephen Grant, all of them, they didn't know what to do. They didn't have a body, and none of them had family. So, what do they do but continue on with his mission? They sat Shiva, which is what you do in the Jewish religion. When somebody dies, you sit for a week and you don't do anything. You just sit. People come to you to pay their respects. And I thought this is a little cool callback. Ben Grimm, he comes to sit Shiva with them, and they didn't know what else to do. And so what does he do? He brings some food, Happy Hanukkah card, and now he goes directly to Tigra, who had a relationship with Marc Spector, and asks what is there, basically what can he do? There wasn't a funeral. He made it pretty clear he didn't want a funeral. So he's like, but you want to sit Shiva? He's like, well, it's about the mission, what he wanted to live on, what he charged me, all of us with. So we're seeing all of the, members of the Midnight Mission. She's even wearing, the same white suit. We got 8-Ball, who has joined the mission, which that's a whole nother story. But like I said, definitely pick up the rest of this run. He brought food, which was a nice gesture, where she's a vampire, so she doesn't eat. What does he bring? A casserole? He's like, oh, they didn't teach that in Hebrew school. So a lot of humor in Jed MacKay's script. Always, that's something I love about his writing, that he really injects a lot of humor. And then we see the people that came to pay their respects. So we got Hawkeye, Mockingbird, Doctor Strange, Clea, Captain America. So everybody's coming to pay their respects to him, and even picking up the slack and stuff that they couldn't do during the 7 days since they couldn't work. And now it's over, and now they got to get back to work. Let's get that blood, as she said. I love this, this group of characters that are running the Midnight Mission, and we're gonna, all the while she's talking to the therapist, which is also part of Jed MacKay's run. So I would definitely recommend picking up that first volume. But again, this is a great little jumping on point, finding these demons out in the street. And I love Alessandro's art. He is just definitely an artist that I didn't know about before this run. Definitely spotlighted him and gave him a little bit of higher profile, but amazing. I love this Hunter's Moon. I love how he is another priest of follower of Khonshu, and now he's going to take down those demons and exorcise them, and they go running. And she, now we got this lady that has been saved, and she's like, you said Midnight Mission, but which one of you is Moon Knight? You see all of them kind of with their heads down. Who is Moon Knight? And we don't know that. And that's something that is going to be a mystery going forward. We see Tiger wasn't a part of it. What is she doing? She's getting ruthless. She is doing anything necessary to find the killer of Moon Knight. And this is just, such a visceral image. Looking for Black Spector. This dude's not giving her anything she needs. And, Reese kind of tries to talk her down, saying that this is the kind of thing, and I love it, this is the kind of thing Marc was trying to get away from, trying to leave behind. And she doesn't care. It doesn't matter what he wanted. He's dead, and she's the only one that's going to find the man who killed him. And she even says, like, I'm the only one that feels anything real. And Reese kind of takes offense to that. She's like, I'm gonna let you slide with that. But she's also going through it, right? Like, she's developed this relationship with Marc, this friendship, and believes in Marc's mission. And we see that she thinks that, she mentions how he's constantly, he's died, but he's come back and he's been resurrected. And now somebody else is out there. She's asked, like, so you think he's been resurrected or he will be resurrected? She said, I think he might have already been resurrected because 8-Ball just gets fucking attacked, even though he's kind of on this arc of redemption. And he's one of the, he's part of the Midnight Mission, like I said. And then we see him just getting brutalized. Who is it? And it's somebody saying vampire supervillains in my territory, in my house. And so she thinks that he's been brought back, but not in the right way. Like, he was brought back wrong. And we see this, like, completely dark costume for him. Inverted, like, all black. This dude's claiming to be Moon Knight. And he wants him out of his house. So, really great jumping on point, like I said. Fun comic. I can't recommend this run prior to this enough. I'm definitely all on board for this. I've already been digging what Jed MacKay's been doing with the character. So, even though it got canceled, it didn't really. It's just, it evolved into Vengeance of the Moon Knight. So excited for this. Go pick it up. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button down below so that you can stay up to date on everything. And on that note, I'm out.